Man, I tell you, Darth Vader is my most favorite comic book out right now. If you're a big Star Wars fan, you should definitely check out Star Wars Darth Vader Volume 2. The links will be in the description below in this video. Otherwise, it's time to get to the
Aftermath Trilogy book review. The Star Wars Aftermath Trilogy series is written by Chuck Windage, a New York Times best-selling author, and takes place directly after Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. I mean, literally right after. The first book being Star Wars Aftermath, the second being Star Wars Aftermath Life, Death, and the final book in the Star Wars Aftermath Trilogy, which is Star Wars Aftermath Empire's End. Each novel is fairly lengthy, running about 30 or so chapters long. These books are also featured on Audible, each running about 15 hours long, and narrated by Mark Thompson, who usually does most of the Star Wars novels. It's excellent for listening on your daily commute or for long road trips. But if you're anything like me, you have it playing while you're delivering pizza, or worse, cutting weight on an elliptical for an upcoming fight. Contrary to everything you were led to believe at the end of Star Wars Episode 6, the fighting was not over with the destruction of the second Death Star. The Rebel Alliance did manage to relinquish the majority of the Empire's grip on the galaxy with the loss of the Emperor, Darth Vader, and tons of other high-ranking officers. However, pandemonium is ubiquitous throughout the galaxy. Citizens are joining the military of the New Republic by the hundreds of thousands daily. Imperials are still fighting against the New Republic over worlds that are still under their control. Some systems and planets still remain uncovered and don't wish to be a part of either side. The New Republic struggles to bring structure to the galaxy. The Aftermath Trilogy focuses on several new characters and the role in the galactic turning point from the Age of the Empire to the saga of the New Republic. The characters that are primarily focused on are Rebel pilot Nora Wexley, her son Timon Wexley, ex-Imperial officer Sinjir Rathvelis, and bounty hunter Jaz Omari.
Side note, I wrote this review like months ago, and while editing this video, I actually discovered that Timon Wexley was actually in the Star Wars Episode 7 movie. Just a quick footnote, let's get back to the review.
Other main characters include Grand Admiral Ray Sloan and the main antagonist throughout the Aftermath Trilogy books, Galactic. Other iconic Star Wars characters make heavy appearances in the Aftermath Trilogy as well, such as Wedge, Chewbacca, Princess Leia, and Han Solo. Unfortunately, if you came into these books hoping to get a glimpse of Luke Skywalker, you will be sorely disappointed. The first Aftermath Trilogy book does feature Wedge a good amount, but only vaguely shows the other big Star Wars characters mentioned before. This is good because it puts a major focus on new characters such as Nora Wexley and Jaz Omari. In the second and third Aftermath Trilogy books, which are Life, Death, and Empire's End, characters like Han Solo and Princess Leia take all major roles in the book, but not to a point where they overshadow the new characters, but still play an important role regarding the overall plot. A few other characters seen in other Star Wars books makes appearance, such as Brindle Hux. Well, the Aftermath Trilogy is just that, a trilogy, which is a series of consecutive stories. Each book does have its own focus. For example, the first book shows how the new characters meet each other and become a team, sort of how we see other characters do in the first film of all the other trilogy series, and how the last book, Empire's End, focuses on the Empire's last stand that was made on the planet Jakku. Remember that Super Star Destroyer that we saw in Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens? Yeah, that Star Destroyer right there. Yeah, Empire's End explains how that got there. While the Aftermath Trilogy doesn't completely solve the mystery of how the First Order began for say, it does connect the dots between the Thrawn novel and the Phasma novel. We're going to have to wait for Star Wars Episode 8 to completely connect the dots, hopefully. You also get to see how a cult of Vader and Darkside worshippers find their own lightsaber and maybe the origins of the Knights of Ren. It has very intense and suspenseful moments throughout the book, and it does provide a healthy amount of action and violence. My issue with the Aftermath Trilogy books is that it tends to tell multiple stories at once in an almost schizophrenic manner. A lot of these serve as a fluff as opposed to providing any kind of benefit to the actual Aftermath Trilogy. I also think all three of the books are pretty much equal, which is why I decided to review them all at the same time. Overall, I would not recommend this book for anyone that is not a supreme Star Wars enthusiast. And it doesn't really benefit those who don't care about stroking their Star Wars knowledge ego or playing any kind of Star Wars trivia. Plus, other standalone books such as Lords of the Sith, Thrawn, Ahsoka, and Phasma give us much more insight about the Star Wars universe than the whole Aftermath trilogy as a whole. But for all the big Star Wars nerds out there, it's a very enjoyable book. Based off that merit, I have to give the Aftermath trilogy a C+. I have links to both the physical and audio versions of the Aftermath trilogy books in the description below. Don't forget to check out my other Star Wars videos. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with all of your friends. This is your boy, the wise and powerful of all nerds. I will see you guys next time.